U.S. President Donald Trump will be directly involved in the second round of talks with Iran in Geneva over Tehran's nuclear program. The POTUS himself confirmed this. The president's comment came as Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi arrived in the Swiss city to hold the negotiations on Iran's behalf.
What are you expecting from these Iran talks in Geneva tomorrow?
So I'll be involved in those talks indirectly, and they'll be very important, and we'll see what can happen. It's been typically, Iran's a very tough negotiator. They're good negotiators, or bad negotiators. I would say they're bad negotiators, because we could have had a deal instead of sending the B-2s in to knock out their nuclear potential, and we had to send the B-2s. I hope they're going to be more reasonable. They want to make a deal.
Have you been told that a deal is next to impossible?
No, I think they want to make a deal. I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
But just a few hours before the crucial Geneva talks began, the Iranian Navy launched live fire drills in the Strait of Hormuz on February 16th. The naval exercises were conducted to check the readiness of operational units, review security plans, and rehearse potential scenarios to respond to any potential military threats in the waterway. The country's state-run IRNA news agency reported. The Iranian buildup comes amid renewed negotiation talks taking place in Geneva with the U.S. However, Iran made one thing clear, that it is there to crack a fair and equitable deal. Submission before threats is not on the table, wrote the Iranian foreign minister on X. Amid it all, the Iranian Supreme Leader is likely to be in the mood to set the tone for the talks, although how helpful that will be for Iran remains unclear. Taking to X, Khamenei challenged Trump openly and said, "For 47 years, the U.S. hasn't been able to eliminate the Islamic Republic, and that this time, too, Trump won't succeed." In another consecutive post, the Iranian leader further challenged U.S. military might and affirmed, "The strongest military force may be struck so hard that it cannot get up again." Did Khamenei drop a hint that Iran is coming for the United States? In another post, Khamenei flaunted the might of a secret weapon that can send the American warship USS Abraham Lincoln to the bottom of the sea. However, earlier Reuters reported that the U.S. is planning something big, and the planning is more complex than the previous time. This time, the U.S. won't just stop at Iranian nuclear facilities, but will also target Iranian state infrastructure and security facilities, as Trump already announced that if the U.S. strikes this time, they will grab whatever is left there. He also suggested that regime change in Iran might be the best thing that could happen.
You want regime change in Iran? Well, it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen. For 47 years, they've been talking and talking and talking. In the meantime, we've lost a lot of lives while they talk, and legs blown off, arms blown off, faces blown off. It's been going on for a long time, so let's see what happens. In the meantime, we have tremendous power has arrived, and additional power, as you know, another carrier is going out shortly. So we'll see it out. If we could get it settled for once and for all, that would be good.
Who do you want to take over?
What?
Who do you want to take over?
I don't want to talk about that.
Have you spoken
There
to
are
Secretary
people.
Duffy since Wednesday, so today?
No, he's doing a great job.
The sign that the Iranian nuclear sites have been totally obliterated. What's left to go after?
Well, you could get whatever the dust is down there. That's really the least of the mission. If we do it, that would be the least of the mission. But we, probably grab whatever's left. It has been obliterated, as you know.
Would you accept anything less than zero nuclear enrichment?
We don't want any enrichment.
Mr. President,
We don't want enrichment.
As the first round of talks failed in Oman, anticipation for the result of the second round of talks is high, especially for Israel, as along with its ally, the U.S., Israel obliterated Iranian nuclear sites in June 2025. Ahead of the Geneva talks, on February 12th, Israeli PM Netanyahu even met friend Donald Trump in Washington for a meeting focused mainly on Iran.
I have just finished a short but important visit to Washington in a conversation with our great friend, President Trump. Between us, there is a very close, very genuine, and very open relationship. Of course, the talks focused on several topics, but essentially on the negotiations with Iran. The president believes that the Iranians have already learned who they are dealing with. He thinks that the conditions he is creating, combined with the fact that they certainly understand that they made a mistake last time by not making an agreement, could lead to the conditions for achieving a good agreement. He wants to hear my opinion. I won't hide from you that I brought a general skepticism regarding the quality of any agreement with Iran, but I said that if an agreement is indeed reached, it must include the elements that are very important to us from Israel's perspective. In my opinion, it's not just Israel, that is, it's not just the nuclear issue, it's also the ballistic missiles and also the Iranian proxies. That was the gist of the conversation, I would say, although of course it also touched on Gaza and the surrounding area, as well as on general or other matters. In any case, it was another conversation with a tremendous friend of the State of Israel, the likes of whom there has never been.
However, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is very doubtful about a U.S. favorable nuclear deal with Iran. He has cast doubts not just one time, but multiple times.
I'm not going to talk about attacks on Iran or anything of that nature because the president's made clear he prefers diplomacy and an outcome of negotiated settlement. Now, we're dealing with radical Shia clerics. Okay, we're dealing with people who make geopolitical decisions on the basis of pure theology, and it's a complicated thing. I mean, no one's ever been able to do a successful deal with Iran, but we're going to try. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be traveling. I think they're traveling right now to have important meetings, and we'll see how that turns out. And we'll always comply with the applicable laws of the United States in terms of involving Congress in any decisions. But right now, we're not talking about any of that. We are postured in the region for one simple reason, and that is that we understand that there could be threats to our forces in the region. We've seen them be threatened in the past, and we want to make sure that we have sufficient capacity to defend them if, God forbid, that were to happen. We'll follow whatever the law is on it, and it depends on the circumstance that will lead to it. But right now, we're talking about negotiations. We are focused on negotiations. That's what we're focused. The president's made that clear. If that changes, it'll be obvious to everyone, and obviously, whatever the law requires us to do, we'll do.